Hey guys, what's up? This is Place the Movie Film, and I was gonna move my old review of this episode to my archive channel. Unfortunately, I deleted the video before moving it there by accident. Doesn't matter, you're not missing much. It's just a video where I go into too much detail and only include one picture from the episode. But this review is gonna be different. This time I will only be focusing on the important plot points and the best jokes. So anyway, without further ado, let's begin. The episode starts in a fucking pointless and not to mention a very boring way. I mean seriously, who fucking cares which way the water spins? But thankfully this episode gets better as it progresses. I can be at least thankful for that. And then comes a shower scene which I must admit is very fucking funny. But my problem with it is the fact that Bart clearly doesn't fucking care that he is harming his father. Speaking of bad antics, Bart dials all around the world for pointless bullshit that shouldn't even matter. Yeah, this is one of the many reasons why I hate that cunt. Now I know in the past people have defended Bart Simpson by telling me that he is just a kid and it's normal for children to act that way. You might have a point if Bart Simpson was a real person, but here's the thing, he's a fictional character. And it's not normal for children at all to be troublemaking cunts. Doing stupid shit is normal for children, yes. But I'm sure most of them mean no harm. Bart's behavior is exaggerated for comedic effect. Of course I know that. I just don't find any of these cars to be that funny. Especially since Bart fucking Simpson is the one responsible. Also, most children in animation have the mindset of an adult, therefore making the point that Bart is just a kid invalid. But really the worst joke is the one taking place in Germany. The DVD does have the option of me reading the English subtitles, but the problem is Google Translate couldn't help me translate the lines that were originally in German, thus making the joke more confusing. I mean, I know they are making fun of Hitler, but I can't tell if it's accurate or not because of the what I assume is broken German. But whatever, moving on. And when somebody in Australia finally calls out on his bullshit, he just mocks him. I'm convinced that Bart the cunt Simpson has no humanity. If he did, he would apologize right there. But no, he only exists to cause trouble. That's the only reason Bart Simpson exists. And I'm gonna prove it later on in this review. But anyway, this Australian man is not fooling around. He can and will report that prank call to the Prime Minister, and that's exactly what he fucking does. And it pays off. But before we get to that, I'm first gonna talk about one of the funniest jokes of the show, in my opinion at least. In fact, if I were to make a top 15 funniest jokes of The Simpsons, this joke would be very damn high up on that list. Anyway, I find the joke of "you are gay" to be so fucking funny. The reason why I find it funny is because that country's name really is spelled similar to "you're gay." But anyway, back to the main plot. By no surprise, a government agent comes. You know, I think this would be the perfect opportunity for Bart to accept jail time. At least Homer is being smart here. He knows that Bart Simpson deserves to be in fucking jail and even accepts it. But Marge Simpson declines it because she's a dumb bitch. But here is where the episodes gets from boring and pointless to fucking awesome. And I love it when an episode has a bad start but gets better as it progresses. That's why I fucking love The Simpsons. And whoever wrote this episode is very smart, and I applaud him for that. Do you wanna know why the second half of this episode is fucking awesome? Because Bart Simpson has to make a public apology, therefore the Simpsons get a free trip to Australia, and that's so fucking awesome. This is one of the very few moments where Bart's horrible antics actually pay off. I just wish they would more often. When they finally get to the airport, Bart releases some frog that he claims is sorry that he couldn't come. And that's a flat out fucking lie. How do I know it's all a lie? Because this is the first time this frog is even brought up in this episode. There is no other reason Bart would have brought that frog other than to mess up the nature in Australia. Anyway, back at the embassy, it's revealed that the toilet only goes the American way. What? Why would they waste so much money on changing a toilet so it's the way that nobody even fucking cares about? Yeah, as much as I like this episode, the reason Bart is in trouble is fucking stupid. There is no getting around it. Since I don't want this review to be too long, I'm just gonna be brief here. The joke of Homer jumping between the US Embassy and Australia is so fucking funny that I'm just gonna laugh. I also absolutely love how the agent stops him. Anyway, back to the main plot. Then there comes a scene where some guy uses a... What the hell, I'll show you.
You call that a knife? This is a knife.
That's not a knife, that's a spoon.
All right, you win. I see you've played knifey spoony before.
I don't know what the hell this guy is even talking about, and that's exactly what makes this scene so fucking funny. And the joke where the bartender keeps correcting Marge on beer when she says coffee is very fucking funny as well. Enough said. Later on, Bart Simpson apologizes publicly, and I have to admit, his apology seems very honest and genuine. But he has to get a punishment. His punishment is being kicked in the ears by a huge ass boot. And I wanna ask you guys something, and this is to everyone who lives in Australia. At the time that this episode was released, did this really happen in Australia? Did punishments like this really exist in Australia, or is it just made up for this episode alone? I can't tell because I've never fucking been there. Holy shit! The review is already about the same length as the original review. Since I don't want this review to be much longer than the original one, I'm just gonna wrap things up right now and be extremely brief about most of the rest of this episode. After Marge shows some bullshit speech, she is prohibited from using phone. I'm sorry Marge, but you deserved it because Bart's crime is very fucking serious and doesn't deserve to go unpunished. And then Bart shakes his ears. I feel dirty for saying this, but I am being 100% honest. That scene is so fucking funny. Not as funny as the other scenes that I talked about, but whatever. Speaking of feeling dirty, I also find it very fucking funny how those frogs take over Australia. Now before anyone gets the wrong idea, let me make something clear. If this happened in real life, I would never laugh. But as it's fictional, I think I'm entirely entitled to laugh at it, since I'm causing no harm to a real person. And the episode ends with the Simpsons flying home and laughing at that incident. Now it's time for my overall thoughts. This episode is fucking awesome, even though the first half wasn't very good. The second half makes up for it massively, and I really would like to know how accurately this episode portrays Australia. I have no idea, and I want to know from people who live there if the episode is accurate to that or not. If you know anything about that, feel free to let me know. Well guys, that's all I gotta say. Thank you for watching and have a great day. This video being remade was just the beginning. I plan on remaking many old videos in the future. Which reminds me, I now accept all requests to remake an old video that needs an improvement. But keep in mind that if my opinion is still the same, the new video won't be much different. For example, I still hate the movie Wall-E. The only way I would give that movie a positive review is if I lied about it, which I don't do. All my movie reviews are honestly my opinion on these movies. So yeah, most likely won't remake my review of Wall-E, since there would be no point. But everything else, like the videos you can find on my archive channel, and some videos I made on this channel, as well as on my channel of Places Pokemon Adventures, will be remade if someone requests it, and if there is a good reason to remake said video. Also, the things that my audience can request has now been extended a lot. In fact, here is a full list of things you can request for future videos. Enjoy! Yep, as you can see, the list of things I now accept requests for is no longer limited. And commentaries will be accepted as well after my next commentary is public. Since there are a few rules that you need to keep in mind before requesting these. You will see what I mean in the next commentary I make, whenever that's ready. So yeah, this is the real end of this video. I'm done.